teaches this class, but today I'm teaching it for her. Again, I invite you to keep it between the easy and ouch. So today, let's start with the breath. So I'm away from the back of the chair. I'm trying to engage tall posture muscles by not kind of slumping into the back of the chair. You're going to use a little bit more of your core when you do that. And then I have my feet at this kind of 90-degree angle going on, so it's not forward. It's not tucked into my chair. It's more kind of halfway in between, yeah? And feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle my shoulders a little bit here because I'm feeling very stiff. As I was mentioning earlier, I had COVID last week, so I'm like, ooh, man, I need yoga today. And you probably do too. So let's go ahead and place a hand on our belly button, wherever that might be, and then a hand below that. Relax those shoulders, and let's breathe in through the nose and let that belly expand as you breathe in. So here we go. Breathe in, belly big. And as you exhale, contract that belly button towards your spine. Let's do that again. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards your spine. Again, breathing in, belly big. And exhaling. All right. Sometimes in the classes that I teach, it's called the Big Six. It's lymphatic movement. It's to kind of get the tissues inside the body kind of moving, and we're going to do a little bit of that today. First, we'll start with an alternate shoulder up and down. So arms out to the side and just kind of pump those shoulders up and down. It's not too fast, and if it's a little bit stiff, you're going to go a little bit slower. So this addresses the low pressure that's going on in our collarbone, which is one of the areas that we tap or rub to lessen swelling and edema in our body. Inflammation, lessen that inflammation. If I could talk, it'd be dangerous, right? Let's do about 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And also that helps with loosening, kind of getting a little bit, you're oiling your shoulder joint there, yeah? I'm going to take one hand and find my collarbone, and I'm going to take fingers above and below my collarbone and rub across the collarbone. Now, I'm not digging. I'm just doing a nice little rub here. And then you can also tap, tap, tap across. So this is considered to be area number 1. It's known as the Big Six. So we address 6 areas in our body to reduce inflammation. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to move that hair out of the way, stroke across. And I tip my head sometimes when I do this. If you want to find out more information, just remember to look up Big Six, Dr. Perry, Big Six. And again, if you want to tap, tap, tap across, let's do that. Very good. So the next place, you know how when you go to the doctor and you're sick and they're always checking for swollen lymph glands, lymph nodes? This is that area. I'm going to turn my head a little bit. I'm going to take fingers back behind my ear and in front of my ear and bring it here along the side of the jawline and down the side of the neck. So I just kind of do jawline, side of the neck, jawline, side of the neck. Also, this is kind of where the carotid is, yeah? Very good. Let's do the other side again, kind of along that little curve of the jawline by the ear, and stroke in front and in back of the ear, down the jawline, down the side of the neck. This is to lessen brain fog, let the waste that accumulate in our brain drain into the collarbone area, down through the arteries, out through our poop and pee. Yep, all that. And sweat too. All right, so the next area is you're going to make a letter L with your hand and place it into your armpit. You got your thumb here, right here in the front pectorals, and you're just going to push up and down into the armpit. So men and women that get breast cancer, they're going to look through those auxiliary lymph nodes to see if cancer has spread. This is one of the areas that they look at. So 1/3 of your lymph nodes are from your collarbone up to your head, and a little bit here in the armpit pectorals. You can also pat, 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 or take a fist and pound lightly. Very good. Let's do the other side. Make that letter L, and then kind of pump up and down. And you got that thumb in front, you can kind of squeeze at the same time, or you can just kind of do like a circular motion, whatever kind of motion you can do here, yeah? Again, if you want to pat, 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 or make a fist, pound that fist. Very good. Next area is the belt line. So find your belly button, and you can just take the sides of the hands and chop, 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 kind of along the belt. Again, this is part of the big six. Kind of moving my subcutaneous fat here. And if you want to do flat hands, that makes a nice little noise here. So I like to do this before we start doing a lot of movement, so it's more effective for the movement that we do today in class. Now, we're going to take a leg out, stomp a foot out, and then the other. Now, where that leg inserts into the torso, that's that little crease there, you go on a crease. Take the sides of the hands and chop. So men that get the prostate cancer, this is the areas that they check for those auxiliary lymph nodes. Did the cancer move to those areas? So let's get those areas less toxic by moving the lymph. All right, now here is where I'm going to sit my feet forward so I don't have them at right angles. They're stepped forward. I'm going to take my fingers back behind my knees and rub. Now I'm hinged forward a little bit here. It's the bottom of the hamstring, top of the calf, and that bend of the back of the knee. So if you tend to get swelling in the ankles, the feet, the roadblock is the back of the knee. So you need to stimulate the back of the knees, then work on your feet. Very good. From here, clap your hands, rub those hands, get a little heat going on here. And let's just bring a little bit of energy into our arms. What we're going to do is tap, tap, tap the tops of the fingers and up the side of the arm. Tilt your head, get the shoulder. Everybody loves the shoulder. Palm up, come down the front side of your hand, your arm. And then flip it again. Tips of the fingers, tap, tap, tap. And then tap, tap, tap on the side of the arm. Tilt your head, go there in the shoulders, palm up, and bring it down. Clap the hands again. Rub some heat into those hands. That's good for osteoarthritis, circulation, cold hands. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And let's do the other sides. Here we go. Tap, tap, tap the tips of the fingers. And let's go to the outside of the arm, up that elbow, side of the arm, and that shoulder. Oh, my favorite place. Palm up, bring it down. Clap. Tip, tip, tap, tip, tip, tip. Tap, tap, tap the tip of the fingers. What was I saying there? And bring it up the side of the arm. Woo. Into that shoulder. Flip the hand and bring it down. One more time, clap those hands. Let's just go ahead and bring a little heat onto the knees. So little knee circles here, knee circles, hand circles on the knees. And then reverse. To lessen knee pain, we just take the palms of the hands softly, tap, tap, tap the outside of the legs. Very good. From here, let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, float the arms down. Again, breathe in, circle, sweep arms up. Belly gets big when you breathe in. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in, circle, sweep arms up. Very nice. And exhale. Now, if you have a yoga block or a ball or a couch pillow or your hands, grab that. Grab your hands, yeah. That works too. We're going to do what's called swimming dragon. So it's to increase the range of motion in the turning of the head and softening the muscles in the neck and the shoulders. So if you have hands, it's hands together. If you have a block, hands on either side of the block. And then from here, feet firm into the floor, we're going to breathe in, belly big. And as we exhale, belly buttons tight, push the block one way, push the hands one way, turn your head the other direction, looking over the side of the room. Stay here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, back to the center. Stay here, inhaling, belly big. Exhale, push it the other way. Head goes one direction, hands the other. Again, you don't have to have gear to do this, all right? Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, back to the center. Beautiful. All right, just place that block down to the side of the body. Let's go ahead and increase more blood flow to the brain. We kind of did a little of that with the tapping, but let's do a little bit more. And you may notice some little sensations going on when we do this also. It's called spread the feathers. So this is kind of chair yoga with a splash of Tai Chi. We're going to spread out the hands, bring the hand out to the side so it looks like a little starfish. And then I'm going to drop my arm down a little bit. And then I'm going to turn my thumb to the back of the room. So I'm activating that bicep shoulder complex. With the opposite ear, I'm dropping it towards the shoulder and then lifting that chin. Now I'm going to take my chin and draw like a smile or a half circle. So bring the chin towards the chest and then the chin towards the arm that's extended. And then softly chin back down to the chest and then towards that opposite side and release back to the center. You may have noticed some sensation going on with that upper arm. Maybe, maybe not. Take the other hand, spread it out. Let's do the other side again. It's called spread the feathers. I'm going to lower my arm a little bit, turn the thumb to the back of the room. Ooh. And I'm going to take that opposite ear towards my shoulder and then lift that chin up. Feels a little spicy on this side. And then I'm going to take my chin and draw it towards the other direction. So chin towards my chest, chin towards the extended arm side, and then chin back down towards my chest and towards that opposite side and release. Very good. From here, we're going to do what's called the Atlas point rotation. You take your nose, basically start drawing a circle. Your eyes typically follow the circle unless you have vertigo. If you have vertigo, you're going to look forward and just, turn the head. So you're going to get a little bit more eye exercise if you're looking forward, as opposed to eyes following the circle. Now I'll be quiet for a little bit so you can listen to the noise that might be happening in the back of the head. Keep breathing. Now let's pause wherever you are and let's reverse that. Go the other direction. Ooh, I hear a little noise here on that left side. A little crinkly noise. Maybe you do too. And if it's spicy, go a little bit slower. Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller circle. Very good. Very nice. Bring it back to the center. Next is, let's just take a foot out to the side. I'm looking to see here in the camera if you can see that. Okay. So I'm on the back of the heel. My toes are towards the sky. My leg kind of extended nice and long. And I'm sitting up tall here. I brought my hands back behind me. And I feel lots of tightness going on in that calf. You might be feeling that too. Now, if it's spicy in the back of the knee, bend that knee a little bit, but still toes towards the ceiling or towards you. Little flexed heel here. Woo! Then we're going to point it away. You're going to feel it on the top of the foot this time. And then we're going to do a kind of a pumping of the heel. So let's do that. So that's returning blood flow from the lower extremities back to the heart. This is considered to be your second heart, the pumping of the calves. It's also known as a blood glucose lowering technique. Plus, you're getting some ankle isolation going on here too, which is beneficial to having better walking ability when you kind of work those feet. Yeah. And release. Bring it in. All right, let's do the other side. So fling it out there. I think my name tag is in the way. It won't be on the recording. So toes towards the ceiling. Flex that heel. If you need to wiggle it out a little bit. You know what? I'm going to bring it in more. No, I'm going to bring it out so I can see it in the camera. Okay. And again, make those toes point. Don't have them going out to the side or in. Straight up if you can, okay? Straight up and towards you. Woo! Is this side tight? It might be. And then point the toes away. Ooh, my foot just popped. It'll sound. Y'all probably didn't hear it. Maybe you did. I don't know. And then let's start that pumping of the heel. Toes towards you, toes away. Oof. Oh my. Again, returning that blood flow to the heart. This is also pumping the lymphatic fluid from high pressure back to low pressure, back here to the collarbone. Goes through the vein, goes through our circulatory system, out our sweat, out of everything else, yeah? All right, and then release. Bring it in. Very good. You know what? If you have a yoga strap, if you don't, well, you just don't. What you can do is step on your strap. You can do this with or without the strap. So it's called sumo stomp. It's a bone density type of exercise. You can either take your hand underneath the back of the knee or your own muscular strength and bring the leg out and in. So this is called air and slide. So basically you're sliding the leg out to the side. So if you have spicy back pain, you may notice this because this is your getting in and out of the car functional move. And you'll notice that when you get in and out of the car if you're having some spice, some pain. Now add some air to it. In other words, you're hopping your foot over like a soccer ball or a golf ball. So you're kind of getting into different little nooks and crannies in that hip joint. Yeah, so we're lubricating that hip joint. I hope. If you want to add a little vibrational energy, in other words, a little stomp, you may. Again, you can do this with the hand instead, or strap along the bottom of the foot. You can just choose here. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. You know what? If you're using a strap, just step the other foot into it, take the other one out, and we're going to start that slide motion. So here we go. Well, this one's a little poppy. This one makes a little sound when I go out to the side. So you may be noticing differences one side versus the other. Yoga's great about that. Left versus right, up, top versus down, that kind of thing. All right, let's add some air. So lift it up. Woo. This is where I'm glad I have a metal chair. It lets me kind of glide on the chair a little bit. Where I teach in person, they have like a cloth chair. Man, my behind gets warm during chair yoga in that class. Again, you can use the hand underneath if you like. I'm going to switch that to the hand underneath. And maybe add a little stomp to it. Totally optional in that stomp. If you've got that plantar fasciitis or maybe a neuroma, maybe that didn't feel so cool in the body. So maybe you're doing soft landings. That works too. 3 more. 3. Woo! 2. And 1. Bring it back to the center. From here, let's just kind of throw a temper tantrum. So stomp those feet. Core nice and tight. Maybe you want to pump the arms also. A little vibrational energy here. Now, pause just for a moment. Let's step a foot forward and then the other one. Let's just basically do a seated walk with pumping bent elbows. Sit up tall. Breathe. So this is using both the hemispheres of the brain. So we're doing a little dementia prevention here with our walk. Also increasing the heart rate just a little bit. All right, now bring both feet back close to you. Now remember, what side did you start with? I don't know, but we're going to start with the other side next. So step the other one forward and back. Now, if you end up stepping the same foot forward, that's okay. Just keep moving. Keep breathing. Maybe your breaths are a little bit larger. Maybe not. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, don't know how to count, and 1. Very good. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And we're going to bring the hands down the center, which is called bringing down the chi. Clap the hands. Rub those hands. If you're allowed to hinge forward, seated in the chair, let's rub those shins, the back, the calves. Come up the side of the legs, the inside of the legs, underneath one leg and the top, then the other. Very good. Nice. From here again, circle, sweep arms up, and then bring down the chi. From here, bring the fists out to the side, and we're going to do what's called cat claws. So fists and spread them out. Fists, spread them out. It's a little bit of our yoga for arthritis movement sequence. Spread them out. If you want to look at them, look your head side to side. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Very nice. Rub those hands. Okay. From here, we're going to do, it's called, what is this called? I don't know. Spinal cord breathing. It's a variation of cat-cow. So we cup the hands in front of us, so they have little cupped hands in front of us. And basically, we're near the front side of our chair. We're not scooched back. You scooch back, scoot back forward. All right, very good. What we'll do here is breathe in, elbows up to the sky, chest towards the sky. Here we go. Breathe in, elbows up, and your belly is forward. Exhale, curve your spine to the back of the chair. Let's do that again. Breathe in. There's a little pelvic tilt here going on. Elbows up. Go slow when you do that. Exhale, curve that spine to the back of the room. So just kind of pelvic tuck under when that happens. Elbows up. Breathe in. Hips forward. Exhale, curve that spine. Now we're going to turn to the side next time. Elbows up, turn to the side, up, 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 up. Exhale, back to the center. So when you coordinate your breath with your movement, that lessens your stress. Here we go. Elbows up. Breathe in. Woo. Exhale, back to the center. Let's do a finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Finishing breath as hands come down the center. So we're bringing down the energy. Again, bringing down the chi. Very nice. From here, let's just go ahead and keep the cupped hands and swing the arms. Woo. You kind of go back and forth a little bit here with your body, just a little bit. Again, one side may be super flexible. The other one may be a little bit more stiff, and you're going to notice that. Now, maybe you can tap your shoulders this next time. So you come up a little bit more with those arms. Again, does not have to be vigorous. You can fake tap if you like. Maybe come up a little bit more. If you can't touch the hands on the shoulders, that works too. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And just kind of let those arms dangle a little bit. In fact, let's do the arm dangle. Take a hand either on your thigh or here on the shoulder. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit and then kind of shake that arm here to the side and then start drawing some circles here or some ovals, as the case may be. Mine are ovals. Again, a little range of motion going on here in that shoulder socket. This feels spicy. A hand here in the front sometimes helps with that. A hand here in the front on that shoulder also allows you to feel the range of motion, the little joint action, yeah? And then let's pause and make it go the other way. Woo! I'm trying to think, what else is this? Stir arms. Stir arms is range of motion. Mine's popping on the other direction. And release. Sit up tall, maybe shift over to the other side of your chair, and then let that arm dangle, kind of shake that arm. I'm going to move my block out of the way because I might hit my block. You never know. And start that circular motion. So here we go. Again, hand can rest on the hip or maybe on that shoulder. Sometimes I lean out a little bit too much, but I don't want to hit the chair. If you've got arms on your chair, you're being careful here, yeah? And just notice, this is one of the physical therapy exercises they had me do after getting my pacemaker put in here many years ago. It kind of helped me get being able to raise my arm up overhead, yeah? And other direction, because you have to keep your arm in a sling for about, was it a week or 2 weeks? So that pacemaker stays in place, the wire stays in place. So, you kind of lose some functionality there whenever you have a surgery like that. I'm making more roundy shapes on this side compared to the other side. That's one thing I do notice. Make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. And then bring it back. Maybe you notice some tingling going on here. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, from here, breathe in, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down the chi. Now let's do a traditional cat-cow. I'm going to turn sideways. Y'all stay there, okay? So this is where I do engage with that kind of 90-degree angle with my feet. And I tend to lean forward, so I'm always thinking about, okay, shoulders over my hips as best they can, yeah? And I'm not jutting my head forward. It's more in a line, ear over the shoulder, shoulder over the hip. So hands are on my leg or maybe my knee if I can grab them, yeah? And let me scoot a little bit more into my chair. My behind was coming off the chair. We're going to breathe in, belly big. And to begin with, let's do the cat version. So contract the belly button and curve your spine to the back of the room or the back of the chair. And I'm hanging on here, so I got a little nice curve going on here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you probably can. Stay here, breathe in, belly big, and then tighten the belly button. Come up. So there's this little pelvic tilt that happens when you come back up to tall posture. And sometimes it can be spicy. Go a little bit slower. Let's do that again, but this time we're going to go forward like a hinge for cow pose. So breathe in, belly big, elbows out to the side, hinge forward. Now I'm not taking my chin looking at the ceiling. I'm not taking my chin looking down at my chest. I'm trying to have the ear kind of aligned with the tops of my shoulders so I don't have excessive cervical spine business going on here. Stay here, breathe in, belly big. As you exhale, contract that belly button, come back up to a tall seated posture. Then I'm going to do this forwards on the next one. Breathe in, belly big. Now I'm away from the back of the chair. Exhale, curve the spine to the back of the room. Ooh, I can feel my muscles just kind of like peeling away from my bony spine. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, belly button tight. Come back up to a tall posture. Notice that pelvic tilt that's happening when you do that. And again, breathe in, belly big. One more time. Exhale, hinge forward for the cow version of the pose. Stay here, belly big. Exhale back to nice, tall, seated posture. Yay! All right, so from here, you know what? Let's do a little bit of foot patterns, and then we'll go into piriformis bounce in pigeon posture. So we're going to bring the ankle bones together. You know what? I'm going to move that strap out of the way. Okay, ankle bones together. And we're going to kind of jitterbug our feet over to the side. So the feet are together, and you're just going heel toe over to the side and then back. Your shins are going to get a nice workout here. My ankles like to separate. That's okay. They're still pretty close, yeah? Ooh, that right foot is really stiff. So you may be noticing stuff like that too. Now, if you want to, you can twist the upper body the opposite direction if you're allowed to do twists. Sometimes they're going in the same direction, but that's okay. Just a little bit of core work here. Let's do one more wherever you are and back to the center. I went too far that time. or back of the center. Now heels apart, toes in. Okay, then we're going to independently walk them out and then walk them in. So here we go. Brain work. Woo. This takes a little bit more time. Now I tap either my toes or my heels, whatever happens, right? Very good. One more, all the way in. Excellent. Woo. Clap your hands. Let's rub the shins, rub the calves. Get those calves. Come back up, kind of stomp those heels. So we're doing heels up. This helps to lessen leg cramps when you do this. When you kind of shake those legs a little bit. And if you can, come up on the balls of the feet, hands on the legs, shake the legs out to the side. Feels weird. Very nice. Very good. All right. So I mentioned piriformis bounce. So some of y'all are going to need your strap. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to grab it just in case. So pigeon seated on the chair can be quite vigorous. I'm away from the back of the chair once again. I don't want a lot of my back of my leg, my behind. Well, I want my behind on the chair, but not a lot of the back of the leg. So I've shifted forward a bit. So what I'm going to do, here's the first variation of piriformis bounce. You can cross the ankle across the other ankle, and so that knee is out to the side. Then you can take your hand underneath and just kind of wiggle that leg. Now, if it's available, some bodies it's not available, maybe this top foot can slide on top of the other leg. Woo! Sometimes it's pretty spicy right here. And when we do this lying on our back, we're usually pushing the leg away, but you don't have much range of motion going on when you push it away. Instead, I invite you, now the ankle's off the leg, so you don't knob yourself. I invite you to lift it up and let it release and bounce. So we're warming up the piriformis muscle, because that's the one where the sciatica, if the sciatica nerve is like entrenched or on the side or in that pelvic notch or somewhere else getting pinched, You can have that sciatica pain, the numbness, the tingling, sharp pains, various areas because you pinch a nerve, it gets nervy to you, and it may pinch in different areas depending on what you're doing. So first we're kind of warming up the muscle. Very good. All right, and then again, it can be either across at the ankle bone or on top of the thigh. Just make sure that ankle is not like hitting the top of the thigh muscle, okay? All right, I'm going to move my behind a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is take the top toes, whether on the ankle or on top of the foot, point the toes towards your knee so you're activating that calf. And this is maybe all you need. But most people want to feel a little bit more. I don't know why, but they do. So I take my hand either on top of my ankle or the bottom of my foot, and the other hand on my shin, and sit up tall. Always got to sit up tall. And then I kind of look at my bottom foot. Is my bottom foot turned more in the center? So we don't want that. We want that bottom foot to kind of be like in line with the ankle. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay. And it might be a little bit more spicy. Again, toes towards your knee, sit up tall, hands somewhere on your leg, foot, elbows out. Like we did in cat-cow, we hinged forward for cow. Hinge forward just a little bit for your seated pigeon. Now maybe you need to move your behind a little bit to make it feel a little bit more comfortable or uncomfortable. I don't know which word it is. Breathe. So when you're in a spicy place with your yoga postures and it's a little bit too much, you're going, listen to your breath. So breathe in, listen to the noise going through the nostrils. Do the same as it comes out. Listen to it. Sometimes when you do a little bit, more things than what your body can handle, redirection of senses, it allows you to stay in the posture that might be spicy. Sometimes it doesn't work at all. You need to back off a little bit, like unhinge a little bit. Sit up tall though, yeah? And release. Yay! Take that leg off. You know what? Just kind of come up on the balls of the feet and do opposite windshield wipers here, just to kind of get that muscle memory out of both legs, yeah? Very good. Now, kind of stomp those feet again. And then let them relax. Let's do the other side. Why did I have this strap? Oh, I was going to show you on the next one. Cross at the ankle. So sometimes folks aren't able to reach this leg when it's crossed at the ankle to bounce it. So you can slide the strap underneath the bend at the back of the knee and pull it towards you and let it drop. So that's an option with the strap, with your gear, okay? But again, if it's available, maybe you can slide it up here on the thigh. And again, make sure that the bottom leg is not like tucked under or tucked out, okay? And take that hand underneath, raise it up, and let it release. Again, it's not much movement, but it's a lot of movement because you're doing this weighted with gravity. So we've done, let's see, 2 out of the 6 essential spinal movements. We'll do 3, 4, 5, and 6 here in just a little bit after we do this piriformis bounce and then the pigeon. A couple more little wiggles here. All right, let everything relax here. All right, now you're going to take your toes, your top toes, point them towards your knee, sit up tall. All right, from here, elbows out, hands on your knee, your top of the foot or bottom of the foot, hinge forward like we did in cow. Woo! Hello. So the top leg, usually that behind is getting pretty spicy here. So again, I invite you to breathe in and breathe out. Listen to that breath. Listen to that breath. Again, inhaling. Woo. And exhaling. One more time. Breathe in. And out. Beautiful. Come back up to a tall posture. Release that leg up on the balls of the feet. Move your equipment out of the way. And shake those legs. You can stomp them. You can shake them. Just some kind of wiggling motion with the leg. Okay? Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Very good. All right, we're going to go on to spinal movements 3, 4, 5, and 6. So one of them is side lateral flexion. So inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And we're going to sneak one hand back behind you. So you got to be away from that back of the chair. And then really reach up for the ceiling. I'm going to do my feet a little bit wide. And I'm going to reach up a little bit more, belly button tight. Lean the upper body over it, kind of at an angle here. Woo. Breathing in, breathing out. Now let's bring it back on up and float it down. Let's do that again. Circle sweep both arms up. Breathe in, and then bring that other hand back behind you. A little squeeze of the shoulder there, and then inhale, reach, 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 reach. Exhale, lean the side body over. Ooh, I felt my back pop on that one. Inhale, back on up. Exhale, float it down. Let's do that again one more time, each side with the breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, sneak an arm back behind you. Inhale, reach again. Exhale, lean the side body over. Inhale, back on up. Exhale, float it down. Other side, both arms, circle, sweep arms up, inhaling. Exhale, bring the other hand back behind you. Inhale, reach. Exhale, belly button tight. Lean that side body over. Inhale, back on up. Exhale, arm down. Beautiful. Take those feet wide, hands on your legs, and we're going to do some wide shoulder circles. So we're also moving out of the pelvis when we do this. So nice and slow. There may be some spicy areas. I'm going to scoot my behind back a little bit. Very good. So I kind of like this one. Now let's pause and go the other direction. And you may feel a little different going that other direction. Ooh, I can hear my bones going around here. One more time, all the way around. I'm going to grab my block while I do that. And come back up. Bring those feet in. All right, so there's a posture or a pose sequence in chair Tai Chi called the tornado. And it's to activate the core. So you don't have to do that with a block. You can just have your hands like making a formation of a ball. Or you can hang on to the block. Yeah. And basically, I'm away from the back of the chair, and I'm turning my body out to the side and bringing it forward. Kind of like we did with the wide circles. Sometimes when you do the circles, you may burp. Air may escape because you're kind of stimulating, the colon, the intestines, kind of letting the air bubbles kind of gather and release. It's okay. Now, bring it higher. So again, envision your hands together or your yoga block or your ball, the kind of the tornado, yeah? And a little bit higher. Belly button tight when you need it. Up here at eye level. Then you can't see my eyes in. And then at the forehead level. Now, guess what? Back behind you and forward. Again, tight, tight, tight abdominals, feet firm into the floor. We do this in Tai Chi ball class with a 2 to 3 pound weighted ball. This helps if you have scoliosis or back pain because it kind of gets you unwound. Now bring it down. Actually, don't bring it down. Pause and reverse direction. Here we go. Reverse direction. If you're not going at the same direction, same speed as me, that's okay. You're doing what you can with what you got. Feet firm into that floor. Bring it down. Woo! Don't have to go back behind you anymore. Lowering and lowering. One more time. A little bit lower. A little bit lower. Make the circles a little bit smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very good. For this next one, so we kind of moved in this upper circular motion. Now we're going to move side to side, again, getting into the body. So we did that side lateral flexion. We're doing twists, kind of sneaky twists for the 5 and 6 movements. So basically, as if you were holding on to a ball, and you're going to draw a side line number 8. So a cursive 8. So you're kind of getting into that side rib musculature, shifting weight from one bun to the other. Again, now we're working the side abdominal muscles and those back muscles. Can y'all feel that? I think you can. And trying to dip it low. So your 8's probably a misfigured 8, yeah? Woo. Now pause in the center. Think about what direction you were just going. We're going to go the opposite direction. And my 8 never looks the same when I go the opposite direction. It's like, what? It feels different when I go the other way. Hello, shoulders. Hello, ribs. Hello, lungs. Surprised I hadn't started coughing yet. Let's do 2 more. Here we go. Here's the beginning of 2. And here's the beginning of 1. And of course, I don't know how to count. Bring it back to the center. And just start drawing circles over your legs. We call this peri in chair tai chi. So make sure that you're covering the same area in the center. So it's called also wipe my table. Yeah? Wipe my table, wipe my table. Okay. Get that index out and wipe my table. Now pause and wipe it out. Now my wipe outs are bigger than my wipe ins. I don't know why that is. Who knows? Then we're going to bring it vertical. So this is, you know this is wipe on, wax in, I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Wax on, wax off. Yeah, okay. Karate Kid. Ooh, can you hear your shoulders speaking? Now, wipe it in. Okay, got to get the groove here. So I'm wiping that window, wiping it in that plane, that vertical plane. Now, if you want a little bit more, make a fist and dig the elbows in the center. So you're a little bit more into the lungs here, called elbow digs. Or you can go back to the other, kind of wiping. In fact, go back to the other. Here we go. And then go back on top. Wipe it in. Smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very nice. Clap those hands. Bring some sensation back. Very good. Next, we're going to do, let's do unsupported twists. So letter W, arms, upper body, back musculature contracted. And unsupported twists are for those of us that have back challenges. We don't want to really like crank into a twist because that may be too much for us with that, have back pain. So letter W, feel the squeeze, upper body, feet firm into the floor. Very good. Breathe in, belly big. Now with your thoracic spine, that mid part of the spine, twist, keep the chin aligned with your chest over to one side. Squeeze the shoulders if you need to. I always need to. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center and release the squeeze. Woo! Up and down with the shoulders. Get that lymphatic fluid flow moving there. Get it kind of loosey-goosey there. And go back to letter W. Squeeze the shoulders. I love it. Feet firm into the floor. Breathe in, belly big. Belly button tight. Twist over to the other side. Ooh, I'm going to burp. Stay here. Breathe in. Exhale back to the center and release. I love it. All right, so now we're going to do Warrior One. So this is one of the strength movements that we do in fall prevention chair yoga on Fridays. So what I'm going to do is turn sideways on my chair. Now, if you've got the armchairs, you may have to go at an angle on this, okay? Or this may be impossible to do. I don't know. But I'm going to take the leg that's closest to you. Bring that leg either right here in front of the middle of the chair. It kind of depends what your hip flexors are saying here. One curly toes, or maybe I can scoot that back leg a little bit. I kind of have to move my behind a little bit, make it feel more comfortable from my bottom. And then press firmly into the forward leg. And if you can, press into those curly toes. And then squeeze the bun that's closest to me. So squeeze this bun. Woo! Now if you want more, what you do is you take this leg that's close to me, squeeze the bun, shift forward just a little bit. Shift the leg forward. So you're really getting into that quadricep. A little bit of hamstring, a lot of the side booty behind, yeah. Now, if you want to add more, back bend, same arm, that same leg that steps back, same arm goes up. You can hang onto the chair with the other one, or maybe you have both arms, but I usually just do one. Press firmly into both feet, Warrior One, and relax and release. All right, bring that leg next to the other leg, and let's swivel over to the other side. Do y'all feel that strength in that move? I think you do. Okay, so I'm going to take a leg back. Here we go, other side. And my knee touches the floor on this one. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm going to scoot the other leg back a little bit. So if I've got plantar fasciitis, that's really stretching the bottom of the foot there. Firm foot into the floor, my chest, my ribs towards the side angle of the chair as best I can. Press into those toes, press into the heel, everything activated. Squeeze the bun that's closest to me. If you want more, shift a little forward. Ooh, a little spicy. Whatever leg is back, same side arm comes up. Press firmly into the floor. Press, press, press. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Woo! And release. Beautiful. All right, bring the knees back together, come back to the center. Now we're going to do my version of warrior legs. So some people have legs doing crazy things seated on the chair. What I like to do is what I was taught. So ankles and knees together, and I'm going to take a leg out to the side. I just brought it out to the side. Now I'm going to shift over to that side of the chair, and I'm trying to heel toe out a little bit to where I've got this nice letter V or letter L going on here. Now I naturally turn towards the center, right? I'm going to take my torso and turn it towards the leg that's in front here. So I feel lots of inner thigh business going on with the other leg. Press firmly into the floor. I may have to have my behind way back here. Very good. Because my feet are scooting forward. So we're trying to be very active with this warrior two legs. All right. From here, we hate wrinkles. We got a wrinkle here on the floor. So we're pressing down firmly. We take our hands back to letter W. Remember that squeezy shoulders? Very good. With the squeezy shoulders, press feet into the floor. Extend those arms out. Squeeze those shoulders. Breathe. Now, very active shoulder complex, very active feet into the floor, and engaged behind into the chair. Whoa, my foot's slipping. And release and relax. Beautiful. Take that leg that you just stepped out, bring it back to the center, kind of come to the front of your chair just for a moment, and then take the other one out to the side, and then I kind of scoot back in my chair a little bit. All right, so again, I'm kind of heel toeing my feet out a little bit, getting my behind comfortable. Again, I naturally turn to the center, so I'm going to turn my body torso out over the leg that's towards you. Feet firm. Very good. Squeezy shoulders, so chest towards me, so not chest towards the center. Turn the chest towards the camera. Very good. Squeezy shoulders. Excellent. Arms out into the letter T. Press firmly into the floor. Very, very active. Squeezy shoulders. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Don't forget to breathe. And release. Woo! Bring that leg in. From here, we're going to do the 8 movement meditation series. So I'm scooted forward here on the chair. Let's go ahead and just kind of wiggle those shoulders a little bit. Shoulder rolls and reverse. Very nice. Shake them out. And then palms come out to the side. From here, let's inhale, gather our arms in so they're in front of us. Exhale, raise them up to shoulder level. Inhale, open up wide. Exhale, bring them forward. Inhale, float them towards your chest. Exhale, push them forward. Inhale, lower. Exhale, expand them out. Kind of wiggle them about a little bit here. All right, let's do that again. Inhale, gather in. Exhale, rise. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, float them towards your chest. Exhale, push them forward. Inhale, lower. Exhale, out to the side. Now this time, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bend the elbows, and then hinge forward, press into the floor firmly with the feet, belly button tight. And then inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Hinge forward a little bit, bend the elbows, belly button tight, exhaling. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Last time, hands come down to heart center. Press those palms, press into the feet as if you're kind of scooting your booty back because you're pressing so hard into the floor. One more time, inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then bring down the chi. Very good, very good. From here, I'm going to do a little bit of energy tapping, and then we'll do our guided rest and relaxation and our gratitude practice. So we'll start with the sides of the pinkies, tap, tap, tap. So that's to lessen headaches and vertigo. This is part of our meridians. And then we're going to do the interwebs of the thumbs. That's for digestive disorders, for nausea. So kind of go in there. You know, you're not whapping, okay? You're tapping. Tap, tap, tap. Let me come up a little further. Y'all keep tapping while so you can see that a little better, okay? Keep tapping, keep tapping. Very good. Now switch it, other. If you had one way, now you switch it the other. You scoot a little forward. Very good. Next is the interwebs of the fingers. That's for pain or numbness in the limbs. So if you have rings, be careful. So you kind of like interlacing. So you're tap, tap, tapping in those little valleys. Yeah. So here we go. Just sit comfortably. Makes a little noise there. Now notice which finger's on top. Yeah. And you're going to switch it to the other finger. A little brain work going on there. And again. Next will be the pulse points, the wrist. So that's for heart, cardiovascular issues. We've got a meridian that goes right through that area. So let's kind of tap, tap, tap in those pulse points. Now it's not whapping, it's tapping. Flip it. The next one is the back of the hand. That's for osteoarthritis, for back pain. So kind of like we did when we did that spinal cord breathing, we cup the hands. You cup the hands again and you tap on the other hand with the cupped hand. Now we're not trying to be too vigorous, but it's a nice stimulation, nice tapping. Let's do the other one. Now I've got a ring on this side, so I curve it a little bit more, so I'm not hitting that hand at an awkward place, yeah? Makes your veins pop too. This one makes a funny noise on this side, louder noise, maybe because of the angle of the hand. I don't know. So the back of the wrist is for neck and shoulder pain. So again, a cupped hand, here we go. You got to watch, maybe you move it up or maybe move it down a little bit, yeah? Or just skip it. Skipping it works too. Now I've got to watch on the other side, so I'm going to go a little bit below on the other side. It's not at its optimal place, but it's good enough. Okay. All right, so this is one I like. I make a fist and flat palm. I punch into that palm for stress, anxiety, improves clarity, consciousness. You can also notice your strength. Where I notice it is when I do the second side. So I make a fist, do the second side. My second side is not as strong. Well, maybe it is. Now we're going to do, this is a new one. It's, let me say, it's called the jet lag technique. If you have, you're skipped a couple of time zones, maybe you're not sleeping as well, maybe you don't sleep as well. So you're going to take one hand, pick whichever armpit you want to do. Now I'm going to do my left because that's closest to my heart, and just rub your armpit. Let me see what it says here. Gets into those lymph nests, and the left one is connected to the heart. You do this about 20 seconds. Again, this is to lessen insomnia in combination with the next one that we do. Next two that we do. Actually, next three that we do. All right, and one of the ones we normally do is the elbow pit, softly into the elbow pit for lessening insomnia. Now, if you're doing it the same strength as you were doing the back of the hand, that might be too spicy, okay? Makes a good noise, though. So I mentioned rubbing one armpit, elbow taps. I'm going to take off my glasses for the next one. It's ear pulling. So hands on the top of the ears. You pull up. Okay, now on the outsides, you pull out. I can hear better. And then you pull down. Again, this is to lessen insomnia. You do that 2 more times. Pull up, pull out, the middles, pull the middles, and pull low. One more time. Pull up. Continue to breathe. Do the outs. Do the outside of the ears. Pull out. So you have reflexology points like you do on your feet, in your ears also. And then down, just like you do in your hands too. Very good. So this next one is if you want to do this. So basically taking your hands and rubbing front and back on your scalp. And it just depends if you want to mess with your hair, right? This addresses so many meridians in your body. And my hair's a mess. Then you would take it to the sides, to the back of the head. Very good. From here, what I invite you to do, either get on the couch or your chair, or maybe on the floor just for a moment here. We're going to do the guided rest or relaxation. Today I'm just going to read a little short yoga nidra practice. Very short. So one of the effective ways to reduce chronic pain is to attend a yoga nidra practice. And we have those every night. It may take a while for it to be effective. And we have recordings of the yoga nidras out on SoundCloud. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you need to hear somebody's voice, we're out there for y'all, okay? So find a place where you won't be disturbed. We're going to do this for 5-7 minutes maybe. Make yourself really comfortable. So that might mean wiggling a little bit more, covering up with a blanket, maybe laying on the couch, laying back in your chair. Yeah. So you can either close your eyes or gaze your eyes softly and listen to the sounds around you outside of the room. So follow those sounds without analyzing them. Just become aware of the sounds as something external. Let's bring your attention now to your body, and let's take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel yourself letting go. Let's focus on where your body meets the chair, meets the surface beneath you, maybe on the chair, the couch. Let's stay with these feelings just for a moment. Breathe in and exhale. Again, breathing in and out. Next, we'll rotate our awareness around different places in our body, starting with the right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, right hand, right elbow, right shoulder, right hip, right leg, right foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Bring all your awareness now over into the left side of your body, starting with the left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, left hand, left elbow, left arm, shoulder, left hip, left leg, left foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Let's go to the places in the back side of our body, starting with the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, upper back, mid back, low back. And then let's start with the top of the head, right eye, left eye, Right cheekbone, left cheekbone, chin, throat, right side chest, left side chest, heart center, navel center. Now become aware of your natural breath. Don't change it in any way. Just notice, what does it feel like here to breathe in? And what does it feel like here to breathe out? Nice. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to open them. Kind of flutter those eyelids a little bit. If you're way back in your chair, come forward a little bit in your chair. Have those feet wide. Let's start those wide body shoulders once again. Come back into the body. And then let's reverse. Go the other way. From here, if you want to stretch opposite arm and out, take a big breath. And then bring it back to the center. Or maybe do the other opposite arm and leg out. Back to the center. And then I invite you to place your hands either stacked or together at your heart center. And let's think about one thing that you're grateful for, or at least the idea of gratitude. And I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest, thinking about that thing that you're grateful for or that idea of gratitude. Very good. You can keep your chin towards your chest, or you can bring it back to gaze forward, eyes opened or closed, as we do our traditional ending sayings for class today. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste. Which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes Tuesday's chair yoga class here on Veterans Yoga Project.